All praises, honor, glory, and reverence to the Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakal Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone, and shalom to the hopeful, sincere Akim. I want to get into this article in RT entitled, China is amassing nukes much faster than previously thought, Pentagon report says. All right, and go and break down the scriptures that show prophecy written all within this. You know what I'm saying? Prophecy is speaking louder than ever. And it's coming to pass. The different biblical events and indicators that would show you where we're at on the prophetic timeline. All right? We're seeing those things go down. And the things that are prophesied for a later time is being spoken about. All right. So let's get into it. It says China is beefing up its nuclear arsenal a lot faster than Washington thought just a year ago. A new Pentagon report says, predicting that Beijing will own at least 1,000 nuclear warheads by the end of this decade. All right, and when you look at the nuclear arms race back in the Cold War, let's see, Cold War nuclear arms race. Let's see. It was between the United States and the Soviet Union, where they were stockpiling fucking nuclear weapons, man. All right. Warhead production. So you didn't really have China in that race, man. Here you have the what's known as the Eastern Bloc, Soviet Union and China, but the main player in that was Russia. It was the Soviet Union. China wasn't really at the top of the totem, so to speak. Look, we'll just look at the major operations right here. China only had 3 fucking nuclear production operations, as opposed to, look, Soviet Union and the U.S. And even India had 1 more than them. All right. So this is a nation. China is one of the nations that was considered weak in regards to their nuclear arsenal. Okay, but now they've been deemed strong. All right. Not only is China amassing nukes much quicker than the Pentagon thought, which shows you their fucking analysis are shit. But another indicator that China is advancing their technological advancements in missile production is much more than America thought it was, with that missile that China tested that flew around the entire world, and then before it hit its target. All right. And then America tested their missile, their hypersonic missile, to attempt to do the same thing, and it fucking failed miserably. It was a complete abject failure. So this is the nations that used to be once weak being strong. All right. It's a very disconcerting thing for world powers to have nuclear missiles that one has the capability of wiping out what's equivalent to like a 16th of the landmass of America, man, with one of the fuckers. All right? It's a very disconcerting thing that world powers have nuclear missiles in the chamber, ready to go, cocked and ready to go at any moment. And the threat of mutually assured destruction. It's a very fucking scary, terrifying thing. That's why they call it the specter of nuclear holocaust. It's a ghost. It's an actual, it's a spirit. It's a dark spirit that's looming over the world, which is the nuclear holocaust, the threat and impending expectation of an all-out nuclear war, because the result of these things is complete and utter waste and death. Nothing can survive. All right, it wipes out even the very foundation. It burns the goddamn elements in the air. All right. Through the spirit, I'm gonna go into that the Tsar Bomba, which was fucking developed in the goddamn 80s and shit, which had, 100, I believe, megatons of fucking TNT, and the destruction capacity that really has, what that would do to a city, what that would do to a landmass, and to the populations of people therein. Complete and utter annihilation. All right. The Department of Defense published its newest assessment of China's People's Liberation Army wartime potential in an annual report titled Military and Security Developments Involving the People's Republic of China. All right. It says, the accelerating pace of the PLA's nuclear expansion may enable the PRC to have up to about 700 deliverable nuclear warheads by 2027, a Pentagon official said, describing the key details of the report. All right. And just as they were inaccurate in their assessment, as read here, it said that China is amassing them much faster than previously thought. Just as they had a bad assessment before in their previous thoughts, they have a bad assessment now. There's bad intel, man. Because China has significantly more nuclear arsenal than they're letting out, man. And a power, and one of the world powers is never going to divulge everything they have, man. They're not going to do it. It's kind of like keeping all your eggs in one basket. That would be fucking themselves. All right. So they have an underground. They have a covert, clandestine stockpile of nuclear missiles, man, and hypersonic missiles, just for America, with America's fucking name on them, man. It says, and the report states that the PRC likely intends to have at least 1,000 nuclear warheads by 2030, exceeding the pace and the size that we projected in 2020 China Military Power Report. Okay. And that's it. That's all we have to go into. These nations are becoming strong. All right. And trouncing this shit godforsaken queendom of America, putting them to shame. And how scary is that for the goddamn American people? That they're everything that they've ever built for and worked for, and their precious, beloved country can be turned into a lake of fire within a half hour. All right? Because it's determined that these things fucking can fly across the entire world in under an hour. Fucking 20 to 30 minutes, man. All right. And the the destruction capacity is fucking devastating, man. It means sure death. It says in Joel 3:9, proclaim this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. All right, so we're proclaiming to the heathen nations, all nations outside of the nation of Israel and Israel. We're telling them to prepare war, that war is coming whether you want it or not. The Most High's got it on the menu for this planet, man. War on all sides. That is going to start with your traditional war, which we're going to get in the Valley of Yehoshaphat. All right, it says in the scriptures that come down into the Valley of Yehoshaphat for that great World War III, man. It says in Joel 3:2, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the Valley of Yehoshaphat and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and part of my land. All right, so he's going to bring all the nations together again in combat in a world war, in a world war that is going to involve all nations of the world, man. Allied, clicked up into two opposing forces, most likely. No, not, but that's according to scripture too. They're going to click up and they're going to come against America, man. And America's allies. And they're going to fucking get wiped out over there. A lot of the men that go and get drafted into World War III and go over there to the Valley of Yehoshaphat, which when you go into it, it is an area situated in the area of Saudi Arabia. That's where a lot of these motherfuckers who got drafted and these foot soldiers and shit are gonna get put to death, man. They're not gonna return. Okay, it's gonna crack off with that World War III, that war, just as it's already in the mix with these proxy wars, all kind of conflict going down over there in Russia and the old USSR, all those fucking nations, Ukraine, fucking Azerbaijan, okay, fucking is it Crimea? All that shit, all those conflicts, those proxy wars that all attribute to that rising conflict that results in world war. That's where we're at right now. Wake up the mighty men. So the Most High is actually waking up these nations for war. As much as America and these other nations attempted to form peace treaties and pretty much sanctions and laws and rules against inhumane tactics in war, like what is that? Agent Orange. All right. And different inhumane forms of war. All that shit's gonna go the fuck out the window in these last days, because despite all of their attempts to create world peace and to not have nuclear war or World War III or any great conflicts on the world scale, despite all their attempts to prevent it, it's going to go down, man. Because the Most High is putting the spirit in all these different nations to fucking fight, to go against each other. It says, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. So they're going to do it despite if they want to or not. He's putting the spirit in them to fucking, the rage in them to want to come at each other. It's what's going down right now. It says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. So these nations that the Most High is waking up and drawing near to this war, to World War III, the final world stage conflict that will take place before Yahushua's return, before the Most High's establishment of the kingdom on earth. All these nations are starting to redirect all of their financing and resources away from other industries and commerce and put it into war efforts, man. All right? The motherfucking military industrial complex. He's putting the spirit in them to focus their efforts into increasing the destruction capacity of the missiles, because that's where war is at right now. All right? Yes, you have tanks and Black Hawks, Humvees, AKs and ARs, grenades, but the ultimate form of battle now, the game changer is the thermonuclear missile and the hypersonic missile. All right? ICBM, meaning intercontinental. It'll fucking fly from one part of the earth to another, no problem. Because they leave the atmosphere. So they're not even on the trajectory of an airplane. They even go fucking significantly higher than an airplane, because the higher you go, the less distance it is to travel. That's why a fucking plane can get up to a place significantly faster than any other form of transportation, because it's the bird's view. What is it called? By the crow flies. See? It's a shorter distance. So the game changer was these fucking missiles, man. The nuclear holocaust, which is guaranteed going to go down. And the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemi Shai, man. That's why he has these nations redirecting their financing from other industries and sectors into war, man. It says, let the weak say I'm strong, is these weaker nations, or what was deemed a weaker nation, or was thought to be a weaker nation, as it pertains to the missiles, are now becoming strong. Pakistan has nuclear missiles. India has a gang of nuclear missiles. Iran has a gang of nuclear missiles. North Korea has a gang of nuclear missiles. China, fucking Russia. All right. And who in the world do you think, where in the world do you think their target is the question. See? It says, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh. Okay? The Most High is causing this to occur. Isaiah 13:4 says, the noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of the nations gathered together. Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai of hosts mustereth the host of the battle. Okay? So just as we read that the Most High is calling the mighty ones to war, causing them to draw near, to beat their plowshares into swords and their pruning hooks into spears, which is really, those were agriculture, tools for agriculture, which was one of the main forms of industry in the ancient day. So it's literally telling you to stop fucking doing agriculture and do war and develop your weapons for war. That's what it's telling you. All right? But just as it said in Joel 3, the Most High is causing them to come down, is stirring up that war within their hearts, within their minds, man. See? It says the kingdoms, the nations that are gathered together for battle, for war, is mustered by the Most High, man. He's the one that roused them up, so to speak. Let's get it. In Isaiah 13:4, muster. This place is wicked as fucking hell, man. America, it needs to be destroyed. Most High's mustering this up. That's why these Americans think how or what could ever possess somebody to fire these things off, knowing that what they cause. My God, the short end of all life is what you think. These are the weapons of the Most High's indignation. All right, Pakat. The muster, right? Okay, to attend to muster, to number, to reckon, to visit, to punish, to appoint, to look after, to care for, to seek, to visit upon, to pass in review, to assign, to lay upon as a charge, to deposit, to be sought, be needed, be missed, to be lacking. Okay? Let's get this Strong's definition. To visit with friendly or hostile intent. In this case, hostile. So he's mustering, he's causing you to visit. By analogy, to oversee, muster, charge, care for, miss, deposit, to appoint. He's appointing these nations to have the spirit to want to destroy each other, and primarily destroy America. All right? In Esau, Edom, the scriptures tell you that every hand is going to be upon this man. That going into the workers, to the laborers, and also going into all the people, the nations outside of Edom, realizing that this man is the goddamn devil the Bible speaks of, and wanting to put their fucking hands on him, man. Saying, let's get him. Sick him, man. To charge, to commit, to bestow. Okay. To remember. Remembrance, call to remembrance. That's a muster, to muster up. He's mustering up those feelings of the hatred. He's mustering up those experiences and sufferings that these nations suffered at the hands of the devil of goddamn Esau, and the bastion of Esau being America. He's gonna bring that to remembrance, muster up that hatred, so they can put hands on this devil, man. So they could to rise to the battle, to rise to war. So the Most High is appointing them to it. All right. It says in Isaiah 9:5, for every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be burning and fuel of fire. So your traditional battles were fought hand-to-hand combat. Started with hand-to-hand combat, and then it went to projectiles, which is a gun, which is a sword, modern-day sword. Okay, which this applies to that as well, because were they garments rolled in blood? Didn't they have fucking, your fatigues and your uniform, and you're literally, it's like you're shooting little mini swords into each other. That's what a fucking gun is, really. It's shooting a sword into you to pierce you, right? To impale you just like a sword. It's the same fucking purpose, all right? To plunge into you and to rip your flesh apart, internal organs, and for many purposes and ways you can die, from bleeding out, from striking a vein or a vital vein or organ, all right, nerve, fucking or bleeding out, huh? Just like a sword. That's what a projectile is. It's just a mini fucking sword or dagger or knife. That's the whole premise of it. Because the arrows, see, the first projectiles were arrows. It was like the tip of a sword was fastened to a stick with a tail, so that it can be more aerodynamic to hit its target. That's all it is. And the gun is just the modern form of that. So it's going to start off with the garments rolled in blood. It's going to start with traditional warfare, and it's telling you that it's prophecy, that we're going to go from traditional warfare, and this that it's referring to, the weapons of the Most High's indignation, the final war, World War III, the culmination of World War III, which is the thermonuclear standoff, where America and these other nations with nuclear arsenals are going to dump their missiles on each other, okay? With burning and fuel of fire. And we're going to finish off Malachi 4:1, for behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble, and the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith Yahweh Shem Yahushai of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. Okay? The day is nigh. The day is impending. It's nearer than we could ever imagine. That this place, America, this wicked, sinful kingdom, will be rendered a lake of fire. When this place will be soaked in thermonuclear fire from sea to shining sea. All right? And destroy this fucking place, man. All right? Let me get this real quick. The day cometh that shall burn as an oven. All right? A specter is a ghost, something widely feared as a possible, unpleasant, or dangerous occurrence. Okay? The specter of nuclear holocaust. So, the day that cometh, that shall burn as an oven, is looming. Okay? It's fucking looming over this place as a specter, as a ghost, something widely feared as a possible unpleasant or dangerous occurrence. The most unpleasant and dangerous occurrence ever known to mankind. It's just looming over this place like a dark fucking cloud. And that's that day fastly approaching, that where everything around us, primarily here in America, is going to be fucking soaked in fire. Okay? All praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And with that, Shalom.